FanFic Critic. I read it, you listen. Yes, the location's a bit different, huh? Well, guys, remember back at the end of October and the beginning of November how I mentioned I was going to move? Well, this is where you guys finally get to see the location. Yeah, so this right here was filmed in November. For you guys, it's not November, but for me it is. And I'm not really dressed up as a FanFic critic, but there's a reason for it. It's time for fuck up number 4! Now, before we get to the main fuck up list, let's mention the one fuck up that I forgot to mention beforehand that caused me hell. That's right, the fuck up that the honest reviewer brought up. This is what his fuck up was, and it was for episode 46. She gave a quick flat pat and was done, but the dog nudged for more attention. Unfortunately, Meg... How does this person know my name? Oh wait, you guys know my name, never mind. Unfortunately, Meg was not in the mood to give the dog her usual attention. Giving a short grunt and a glare, Cujo, okay, that's not how you spell Cujo. Yeah, so pretty much, I was acting all shocked that the author knew my name, but I didn't act shocked that the author knew my dog's name, which my dog's name is Cujo. That was where I effed up. I didn't mention it in the last fuck up list, but that was because that was filmed back in July. I tried to tell the honest reviewer that, but he didn't listen, so he made me read a bad fanfic as payback. Not a pleasant experience. So now that that's out of the way, let's take a look at the next fuck up, which is episode 57. Hit it. Yeah, I forgot to edit out the bit where, it shows me at the computer, like, doing things before I actually start the review. And for the YouTube version of episode 57, for those who saw the YouTube version, there was a huge F-up with parts 1 and 2, where I had the opening show up twice in part 1, and I had the opening show up in part 2, which the opening never shows up in part 2. If you watch the Media Slayer version, you wouldn't have to worry about that because that didn't happen. Yeah. So even though I didn't officially put it on the list, I thought I'd bring it up again in case I get someone saying, "You forgot to mention the other fuck up in episode 57." So yeah, I thought I'd bring it up. So let's take a look at the next fuck up, which is episode 62.
Hi, I'm the FanFic Critic. I read it, you listen. Today's fanfic is going to be about South Park, which is the coolest TV show ever created. It is called Cinderella by Keiko Murakami. It's rated T, it's in English, it's romance humor, it's Eric Cartman and Stan N.
Yeah, my voice acting for Cartman was very... Well, I wouldn't say it was bad. I think it sounded like the first season of South Park, how Cartman sounded in the first season of South Park. If I was trying to do his recent voice, no, that was horrible. But if it was, I kind of thought it sounded like first season South Park, but I don't know. Yeah, Cartman's kind of hard to voice, and it probably doesn't help that I'm a woman, but I did my best, and I'm sorry for the badness of voice acting, yeah. So let's move on to the next fuck up.
I'm the FanFic Critic. I read it, you listen.
Not possible. 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 Not. Yeah, the ending in episode 63 was a bit off. It was just weird. I was gonna do something else. I originally wasn't gonna show me falling to the ground like that. I think I was gonna do like a nuclear explosion. I just never really got to it. That might have been around the time where I was having issues with the YouTube downloader. Yeah. So the ending was just a little off. So let's take a look at the next fuck up. Hello, I'm the FanFic Critic. I read it, you listen. This is like the second time I've had my own hair be a fuck up in an episode. I don't know, FanFic Critic just does not work with hair down. It just doesn't. I don't even know why I wore it down. I guess my bangs were starting to grow out, and I kind of think they look really crappy when they're all long like that, so I think I decided to wear my hair down in hopes that it wouldn't look as bad, but it still looked bad, so yeah, nah, I should just keep my hair up when I do these reviews. Oh yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the next fuck up, which is episode 68.
There's so many! Oh my god, there's so many! There's so many! Oh, there's so many! Oh, there's so many! There's so many! Oh, there's so many! What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, you kind of see the FanFic Critic in the TV reflection, and then the FanFic Critic starts to enter the reflection, and then she quickly gets cut off when the Susan footage comes in. Yeah. The thing is, with my computer technology, Windows Movie Maker at this moment, I can't have two of me in one shot, so it's really hard to film the Susan and FanFic Critic scenes. I mean, at least I can overlap the audio, but that's the best I can do. And if it wasn't for the FanFic Critic showing up in the TV screen right before Susan enters, that probably would have worked really well, but because you start to see her in the reflection of the TV before she just randomly disappears, that's where it's kind of sloppy, and I think it would have worked better if you didn't see the reflection. Oh well, not much you can do. So let's take a look at the next fuck up, which is in the same episode.
Oh, let's see you. I can take you on. I'm stronger than you.
Come on, put him up. I can take you one hand behind my back. I can take you with my eyes. Come on, put him up.
Yeah, you can barely hear Susan's lines when the critic is doing the whole put him up thing. Yeah. I mean, when you hear Susan's audio alone, you can hear her fine, but because I was so loud doing the crazy FanFic Critic stuff, it, kind of overwhelmed what she was saying. But, she pretty much says this. This is worse than when she was being possessed by Cartman. She's bouncing all over the place like a bloody Looney Tune. That's pretty much what she said there. I mean, you can kind of tell what she's saying there, but not quite. So, let's take a look at the next fuck up. The yellow texture of the duck memorized me. The squeaky sound was likable. Music to my ears, in fact. Yes. In episode 71, I was legitly crying when I was reading that fanfic. Oh boy. I don't know why. I should have refilmed the episode, but it was a sad fanfic, and I love the Muppets, and I love Jim Henson, and it just got to me. And I was trying so hard not to. And actually, I'm surprised I wasn't blubbering like a baby. And I still managed to read the fanfic okay. A couple parts I kind of lost it a little, but yeah. So, I'm sorry for being an embarrassment in that, but I was upset. And I guess it kind of added to the story, but at the same time it's a bit embarrassing, and I'm sure I got laughed at for doing that. So let's take a look at the next fuck up. In comparison to the other Pokemon fanfics I have read, this one was actually the best. However, that doesn't make it a good story. It was still a bad story. The Halloween special fanfic, that was not the best Pokemon fanfic. I take back what I said in that episode. The best Pokemon fanfic I read was the Sorrows fanfic, which I forgot about that one, and I'm very sorry that I did, because I actually enjoyed that fanfic a lot. It had its issues, but I did enjoy it a lot. But the thing is, it didn't stand out as much as the other ones, mainly... Well, the other ones, like the first two Pokemon fanfics I read, the grammar was atrocious, and then the Halloween special was just so over the top. The Halloween special had the potential of being a good fanfic, but it was just... There was things about it that made it very unlikable. but it wasn't the best Pokemon fanfic. I mean, I think in comparison to the 2 other bad Pokemon fanfics I read, that was the best one out of those 2, but it definitely wasn't better than Sorrow's. Sorrow's was very good in comparison. So let's take a look at the next fuck up. Well, I'm done with this one, but next week I have to read the 3rd movie, or the 3rd story. Hopefully it'll make more sense than this, but something tells me it's not going to. Well, I'm the FanFic Critic. I read it. You listen. And I'm going to go sharpen this blade because I'm probably going to need it next week. Yeah, if you watched after the credits for episode 78, it shows me re-entering the room and pretty much going over and turning off the computer. I forgot to cut that bit out in production, and I didn't realize it until recently when I was re-watching that entire Belmont marathon I did. Ugh. Yeah, so sorry about that. That was me being sloppy. So let's take a look at the next fuck up. Yeah, I stared at the camera for a while. I don't think it was supposed to originally be that long. I was trying to add, like, you know, like suspense to it to let you all know that the fanfic wasn't going to be good, but I think I kind of overdid the staring because I think I'm like literally staring at the camera for about like 30 seconds before I finally, you know, say something. Oh well. And let's take a look at the final fuck up. Come on, Kel. David's just too big for me. You can have him. I don't want him. Is she implying there that Kel has sex with her Pokemon? Bestiality? I can't say it. Bestiality? Bestiality much? Only took me 3 times to try to say it right. And I critique other people for their grammar. Yeah, last episode. The last episode filmed in my old bedroom. I don't know why I could not say bestiality. It was funny, and I even say in the episode that I messed up on it. It's like, yeah, and I critique other people for their grammar. But, you know, people, I'm not perfect, and I used to be like some of these authors when it comes to grammar. In fact, my speaking grammar could be a bit better. But that's all I have for the fuck-up list, and there's a good chance that I missed a few. Mind you, most of these I find on my own. But I do have a forum on Media Slayer Productions, so if you guys have any questions, comments, or if you find a fuck-up, you can always tell me on the forum, because I would be happy to know. You guys need to let me know when I mess up. That would be nice. And be nice about it, please. Okay, you can tease a little, but don't be like the can collector. Well, I'm the FanFic Critic. I read it, you listen, and I need to get rolling. Bye!